Someone told me this game was basically Pokemon meets TFT. And honestly, I was ready to skip it entirely. Then I played it. 20 minutes in, I was deep in the monster lineup screen. Min maxing team compositions like I had something to prove. Plot twist, I'm a dad who is now somehow grinding rank mode and trying to climb as high as this game will let me. Turns out, this isn't a Pokemon clone. It's Pokemon meets TFT, and that changes everything. Batomon is basically TFT, Teamfight Tactics, but designed for people who actually have lives. You collect monsters, build your lineup, and watch them battle it out. But here's the thing that got me. It plays nothing like a typical auto battler. It feels more like you're building a deck in a tactical card game. Constantly thinking, constantly adjusting. Less sit back and watch, and more, okay, what I'm gonna doing next. And for a dad who only gets gaming time after the kids are asleep, that matters a lot. I'll say it straight. I hate time pressure in games. Always have. Even back when I have all the time in the world to game. TFT is fun, but that countdown timer, it stresses me out. And when you're a dad, the last thing you need is more stress in your downtime. Batomon figured out how to remove that completely. You draft your monsters at your own pace, no timer breathing down your neck, and somehow the game doesn't feel slow because of it. It feels fair. Here's something I really appreciate. There's no waiting around. When you're outside of the actual battle, you're always doing something. Rerolling your lineup, deciding which monster to keep, figuring out your budget, it keeps your brain engaged the whole time. Like you're playing an RTS in between fights instead of just sitting there watching a health bar go down. Every moment of gaming time for me is as precious as my kid's nap time. Batomon respects that. I want games that actually make me think. That's not just a preference for me. It's the whole point of gaming. It keeps my brain active. And there's a difference between games that are deep and games that are just complicated. Complicated games make you feel dumb. Deep games make you want to tinker, experiment, and figure things out. Batomon, even at this demo stage, already has that. The foundation is solid, and I'm genuinely curious where the developers take it from here. This one's minor, but I'll mention it. The battle music, actually pretty good. But the music in the shop, when you're drafting your lineup and deciding how to spend your budget, it just kind of there. Stale. I found myself turning it down most of the time. I get it, it's a demo. But if I'm going to spend hours in this game, I want something that actually makes the shopping phase feel exciting, not like elevator music. That said, I will take a game with bad music over a game with bad gameplay any day. And the gameplay here is very, very good. Look, the inspiration from Pokemon is obvious, and I want to be clear. It's not at the level of those games that are basically just Pokemon with slightly different coat of paint. Batomon has its own identity forming. But as someone rooting for these developers, hopefully by full release, the art style continues to evolve into something more distinct and their own. The gameplay is already there, I just want the visuals to catch up. This is a personal wish. I used to play old school Magic the Gathering, and one thing I love about it was the flavor text on each card. Little bits of lore that made the world feel alive. I'd love to see something like that in the Batopedia. Imagine unlocking a full page illustration and a short lore entry for each Batomon once you max out their level. It doesn't have to be long, even just a paragraph. It would add so much personality to the world. This one, more of a practical request. By the time I'm on my 5th or 6th battle, I want to know which monsters are actually pulling their weight and which ones are just along for the ride. A simple stat summary between rounds would help a lot with that. And a replay button? Yes, please. Sometimes I need to actually watch how a fight played out to understand whether a strategy worked or just got lucky. Being able to review that in the lobby would make the decision making so much better. Here's the bottom line. If you love auto battlers like TFT but hate the time pressure, this game is for you. If you're a parent or just someone with a busy life who can only game in short bursts, this game was basically made for you. You can hop in, play a few rounds, and leave whenever you need to. Your progress saves. The battle plays out on their own, so nothing waiting on you. There's even a fast forward button for when you want to squeeze in more into less time. Batomon is still in demo, but it's already one of the more promising things I've played this year. I went in expecting a cheap clone, I came out a fan. Give it a shot.